Hi guys, hope you're keeping well. So today we're going to look at the Modh choinníollach. The Modh choinníollach now is different to what we've learned so far, but so far now we've mastered the Amsher the Amsher Loirach, and the Amsher Oshnach, all for An Chéad Réimú and An Dara Réimú. So you've done super work up to this, um, and it's about following them rules over and over again. Now the Modh choinníollach is a little bit different. So for the Amsher something did happen already. So I ate my breakfast. That actually happened. All right. For the Amsher Loirach, I go to school every day. So we know that actually happens. All right. And for the Amsher Oshnach, then I will turn off the light. Okay. So we know that will happen. But the Modh choinníollach is conditional tense. So this is a tense that there's a condition to it. So if something happened, I would. So the tense that we're working with is I would something. So if I won the lotto, I would buy a big house. If I went to the Olympics, I would I would run in a race. Okay, so things that you would do. So there's a condition attached to it. So today we're going to look at An Chéad Réimú and An Dara Réimú together, and the reason for this is that the beginning of the verb is the same as the Amsher, so that's for An Chéad Réimú and An Dara Réimú, and but all the endings are different. So you're going to get all the endings today, and it's important that you keep these somewhere at the back of your copy with the rest of the rules so that you'll have them close at hand, especially 6th class going into secondary school. If you can get a grasp of this, it's going to help you so much, alright? So we're going to be using the both An Chéad Réimú and Dara Réimú, so we're going to use in one syllable like fog and two syllable verbs like ceannaigh. Alright? And this is really the rules for the start of the verb for the Modh choinníollach is the exact same as we would do for the Amsher. So we'll have half of the work done already. You'll know how to half of it already, and then all you'll have to worry about is your endings. All right. So similar to Amsher, we just look at our rules. The first thing we do when we see the verb in front of us, whether we know what it means or doesn't mean, it doesn't matter. Does it start with the consonant? Does it start with the gutta? Or does it start with an F? Alright, and then we're going to see the rules in the next slide that we already had for Amsher and how we will change the start of the verb. So if it starts with a consonant, it gets a shevu or a H. If it starts with a gutta, we put a D apostrophe in front of it. So consonant might be like quir, C-U-I-R, but we'll put a H, C-H-U-I-R. The gutta would be all, O for the L, and then we put our D apostrophe in front of it, so it's D apostrophe O for the L. And if it starts with F, like fog, we put a D apostrophe in front of it, and we also give it a shevu, a H, so dog. Alright, so that's the exact same as we would have done for our Amsher. If you have a good grasp of these, great. If you don't, you still have these rules wrote somewhere, and it will start to become more fresher when we use them a lot more. So now this is where the Modh choinníollach gets a little bit more difficult, and it's actually not more difficult, it's just that it's more content. Alright, so there's a lot more to learn in it. So if the vowel, or if the verb is quail, so if it has an I or an E as the last vowel in the verb, it gets these endings. So these are the endings that we will be using, and I'm not even going to go through them all because you can read them, and we'll be going through them when we're doing the when we're working on the verbs in the next few slides. The broad ones then, A, O, or U, these are our endings. All right. So here, and I know by now we know most of these. So here is just an example of some of the verbs that we could have in the Céad Réimú. So we'd have dún, fog, fan, ól, chur. And just be thinking in your head now, right, if I was given these verbs, what would I do? So here you'd see dún starts with a consonant, so it just gets a shavel. This starts with an F, so it has to get a D apostrophe and a shavel. You have your rules here, and you should have these written at the back of your Irish copy. I would say laminate them if you have that facility at home, and keep them somewhere all the time. Okay, if you really want to get good at Irish, this is the nitty gritty stuff that really makes you that divides the really good examples of Irish from the crowd. All right. Now, so this might look like a lot of content, but it's actually, you know, the majority of it already. All right. So we're just going to look at so here it's only examples, so you can just park that thought for a minute, but we're just going to look at the verb dún, close, all right? So to put it into the Amsher Gotcha then, because it starts with a consonant, it gets a shavel. So dún, D-H-U fada in. Then you look at your other rules, and that is Lahan, because the U fada is a broad vowel. So then you look at your endings here and you add them all. So dún hin, dún fa, sorry, gún hin, gún fa, gún hi she, gún hi she, gún fmish, gún hi shiv, gún fdish. When you're using the Modh choinníollach, when you're saying the words, for the endings, when you're saying them, if you say hin, so gún hin, because when you're saying it, then it makes a clear difference between the Amsharoshnock and the Modh choinníollach. So these ones are different, but for the may part, just put a hin at the end of it. All right. So it's the same as the Amsher Gotcha, so we all know how to do that already. And then it's about following these again, following the rules, following which endings. And I'm aware there are a lot of endings, but you know, you don't have to learn them all today or this week. It's about progressing and just being aware of it. So this is similar then. We have chur, C-U-I-R, starts with a consonant, so it has to get a shavu. And then you look over here, you get your endings for the narrow, because it's the last vowel is an I. So I or E, quail, a quail. Then you have your endings, chur hin, chur he, chur hi she, chur hi she, chur hi mish, chur hi shiv, chur fadish. Okay, so I always say hin or he at the end of these, just to make a clear difference between the Amsharoshnock and the Modh choinníollach. With on Dara Réimú then we have different endings. So this is for our quail, and this for Lahan. Okay, so the endings are different for on Céad Réimú and on Dara Réimú, but they're different for narrow and broad vowels as well within the verb. So it's just a case of knowing them. When you're talking them, they're pronounced very similarly, so that won't be so bad, but it's just about when you're writing them out. Okay, and you will have to use, it will be very seldom that you will have to use these, but if you can nail them, they're an excellent example, and this is what progresses you to high grades later on in your tests in school. All right. So with Andararemu, then we have to get a new root. So it's like Amshakacha, we were getting rid of the IGH or AIGH or IDH or AIDH, but we're going to look at Kiani here now. So we have our verb Kiani, to buy. So to turn this into our Amshakacha root, we knock off the AIGH and then we look at it. So it starts with the consonant, so it has to get a shave. So Kian. Then for the Modh choinníollach, we just add the appropriate endings. Alright, so Kian, the last vowel is A, so that's broad. So then we look down along here and we add our endings. So Kianoin, Kianofa, Kiano she, Kiano imish, Kiano shiv, Kiano dish. Okay, so ma vuhitu on Crankar Nashunta, if you won the national lottery, or if I won the national lottery, Kianoan me chaknua, I would buy a new house. Okay, so I would buy. Alright, then we have douchig. So douchig to wake. We first of all we knock off the AIGH to get a root. So we du for the is. Starts with the consonant, so it has to get a shave. So douche. Then we have our root here, and then we look over here to our rules, and we have our narrow endings here. So douchun, douchefa, doucho she or she, doucho mish, doucho shiv, doucho dish. Okay, so if there was thunder, I would wake if I heard it. Okay, so that's the conditional for that. So it's as long as you have a good grasp of the Amshakacha, then it's about getting your endings, getting to know your endings, and knowing when to put what endings on. So quail, lahan, lahan. All right. Now what I want you to do is in your Gaeilge copy. So we're going to use these four verbs, and you're going to try and put them into the Modh choinníollach for each of them, may to shield. So first of all, you can look back in this really slowly, pause it, look at the rules, screen grab them, or write them into the back of your copy, because I think it's important that you get them, that you have the rules in front of you, or you have a good grasp of them before you go attacking these. All right. So fan, ol, balig, tussi. So we'll just talk about fan here for a second. So fan, it starts with an F. So first of all, you have to change that to the Amshakacha. So if it starts with an F, you have to get your D apostrophe and your shevu, which is just a H. So it'll be D apostrophe FHAN, and then you add your endings. So the last vowel is going to be A, so that's broad, so you'll find your endings for that. Okay, Tussi, then you'll be knocking off your AIGH, and it starts with the consonant, so it gets a H, and then you'll be adding the appropriate endings. The last vowel will be O, which is broad, so you'll have to find which one is broad for Andararemu and add the appropriate endings. Alright, so when I break it down like that, it sounds fairly simple, but it's just about using that same process over and over and over again, and trying not to forget anything, because sometimes I suppose it's easy to forget to change it into amshakacha and just add your endings there. But it's important that you go through it step by step each time. If you write down the step by step before you even write down the endings, that might be a good way to start. Alright, so best of luck with these, and see you again soon.